Blushing Glams, saca pet for me. It's your girl Blush, and I'm back with another episode of Glam Chat. I wanted to do this video at the end of March in celebration of Women's History Month because I think it would have been like real bomb to talk about some badass women that's about their coins, like making their money out here, like about their funds. And of course, I wasn't able to get to it, but I still wanted to get the content out to you guys. So I wanted to kind of just share with you guys top richest women in history. Now the list actually is longer than what I'm presenting, but of course we ain't got that kind of time. So I just kind of picked about 4 to 5 women that I want to kind of discuss with you guys. So I hope that you guys are in on the ride. So if you're gonna sit and do the makeup with me, grab your makeup palette, grab your makeup, and let's get going. If you're just gonna sit and listen, grab your wine, whatever it is that you like to get your buzz on, and let's chat. All right, so you guys know the deal. First and foremost, if this is your first time actually, jumping into my channel, make sure that you come again. And the best way to do that is if you're just part of the Blushing Glam fam. So click the subscribe button, make sure that you are being notified, so hit that bell. All right, and then feel free to share your comments with us. We love to, mingle with each other here, but as long as you are. So, and you guys know that on my channel, I'm pretty much into lifestyle, beauty, and of course, boss babe tips and anything boss babe. So these women I feel like were definitely boss babes. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Y'all know I'm not gonna get too crazy with the makeup, but I'm gonna see if I could dibble and dabble into something just a little bit different. But like I said, I won't get too crazy with it. Off camera, you guys know I try to do things that are either unnecessary or that'll probably take too long, in my opinion, which in this case is eyebrows, and I did my primer. The Masquerade Meanie, you guys, but it's the Morphe, it's the Jaclyn Hill Morphe collab. And then this was also another Morphe one. So basically I'm trying to see if I can stick into like some this is for the blush. This Morphe palette is pretty much for the blush. I'm trying to see if I can do something that is very much in the purple realm. So let's see how this goes. You guys know I'm gonna go ahead and start off with a transition color per usual, and we go into that. So anyways, so like I mentioned to you guys before, I wanted to talk about some women that I felt like were boss babes. So I decided to kind of like do a little bit of research on women that were considered like top women that were the richest women ever. So I did kind of go down memory lane. I went as far as before Christ, so BC, and then a little bit of some more up-to-date women. Now the information, as you guys know, I usually pretty much research them off of the internet. I usually try to stay off of Wikipedia, but if there's certain things off of Wikipedia that matches other websites and things like that, or other sources, then I'll probably use their information, but not too much. I think I use money.com and a little bit of Forbes for this, and then like I think biography.com. So the first person, and I'm not really doing this in any particular order. No person is like, I didn't do it in the order of who made more money or whatever the case is, but I think I want to at least start off with the oldest, in history. So we're gonna talk about Hatshepsut. Forgive me if I am mispronouncing it. So this is in Egypt, 1507 to 1458 BC. Now Hatshepsut, and I'm probably not gonna keep saying her name just so I'm not continuously butchering her name, but she was actually the first female pharaoh in Egypt. She convinced her subjects that her reign, ruling over Egypt at the time, was at the will of the gods. The other thing also is that she actually had control over the gold mines, which if we were to calculate what the output for those gold mines today would actually be worth about $2 billion. Like, she was on it. Up until the time that money.com did this article, she actually remained to be the richest female head of state in Egypt history. In other words, she was on her ish, like really on her ish. I don't know if you guys want to know the colors, but anyways, for transition I did Zulu. I'm also gonna go ahead and add Mali in there as well. I'm not gonna talk too much about the things just because I want to stay on task, stay focused, stay on task, and try to get the information to you guys as quickly as I can. But anyways, so with that being said, she actually rose to power after the death of her husband, which, you guys, was actually her half brother. I mean, I guess that's how they got down back in those days. But yeah, that was her half brother. And his name was Tutmos. She controlled one of the largest empire with land, and the lands actually extended past Egypt into some parts of the Middle East. She reigned, or her ruling actually was for about 2 decades. And again, basically being in the realms of the gold mines. She also had mines in copper, as well as other precious stones, you know. Concealer, I'm gonna be using Sephora. My cut crease is not the best, you guys, but I want to, like I said, I want to kind of change it up a little bit because I usually always do something really simple. Okay, so the purple off of this one, which is Makita, off of this one, which is Gem, they're both very similar, but this one is like a little bit more kind of subtle. So I'm gonna start with this one and then top off with the Masquerade. And then we'll go to the edge with Buried Treasure. So I'm just letting you guys know that up front so that I can keep talking and not be, you know, constantly telling you guys what I'm doing. So anyways, yeah. But the next person we're actually going to talk about is actually Cleopatra, who was also a female ruler in Egypt. She reigned, or well, her time frame was pretty much between 69, like she lived pretty much, or the time frame that they have her there was between 69 and 30 BC. So a little bit more recent than Hatshepsut. But so with Cleopatra, she actually was also known as she was well known for being like one of the best female rulers because she knew how to use her skills of political manipulation in order to be pretty much get further in her career in politics or government. Now, she is another one who actually who rose to power due to either a family member. It was either like a half brother or something like that, or a husband that had passed, or whatever the case is. And then, of course, the power would have went to her son, which at the time was a baby. So really couldn't make much decisions. So she pretty much acted and did what she had to do. Now, her story, like I mentioned before, I don't really want to get too into it, but her story is real. Like, she weaved a tangle web between sleeping with married men or people, you know, someone who was already with someone, and then like just, you know, having other affairs with other people. Like, she weaved a very tangled web. But nonetheless, she did what she had to do to, you know, to be on top of her ish and wring that money and get that money by all means. You feel me? So pretty much what she had control over at the time, pretty much was one of Egypt's largest industries at the time. which was papyrus, there was wheat, and there was something else called Eugene's, I believe. And if I can get more information on what Eugene's is, I would definitely go ahead and put that, you know, put it on the screen or in the description bar, in the description box. She would have earned pretty much annually about 12 to 15K of Egyptian talents. Again, if I can get more information on what that equals out to, I will definitely go ahead and put that into on the screen somewhere for you or down in the description box. But her net worth pretty much estimated to about $95.8 billion. Yeah. Now, the articles definitely do mention also that with Cleopatra, she wasn't brought into money and you know, that's how she became like so rich and things like that. She actually, again, using her skillful manipulation within government. So she pretty much borrowed a lot of money through neighboring and foreign countries in order to finance many wars that pretty much waged her ruling at the time. Like, she, again, when I said by any means necessary, she was really on that. Yeah, so that's pretty much Cleopatra. Another fun fact about Cleopatra, so even though she was one of the female rulers in Egypt, she actually was not Egyptian. She was actually Greek. So in case you didn't know that, now you know. Next person that we're pretty much going to go into, now we're going into more recent people. I'm just using Makita to kind of like outline the bottom of my lash line a little bit. Okay, now I'm using Pizzazz off of the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette just to kind of put in the corners. I'm also going to be using this liner, LA Colors, just to pretty much put on my top lash line. And by you putting a black liner on your lash line, it helps you pretty much when it comes time for you to put your lashes. So it kind of like hides the band. And I'm also using it in my lower lash line. You guys see what I'm doing. Alright, okay. So I think I'm pretty much done with my eyes. I'm just gonna pretty much use the blending blush to kind of like blend things a little bit. I'm also going to see if I can find a color to highlight with. While we're on the subject of makeup, some of you guys are very, very familiar with L'Oreal. When you go to, some of you guys are very familiar with L'Oreal. When you go to the drugstore, obviously. Also Bath and Body Works. Some of those names are definitely familiar to a lot of you guys. Some of them are your favorites. You're probably there all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with my foundation. Matte and Poreless from Maybelline Fit Me 365. I'm using Nutmeg. And so with that being said, if you purchase any of those items from any of those companies, you definitely were helping to fund the shareholder, one of the shareholders, which is Lillian Bantaccord. Now, the time that this article was written, she presumably was still alive. So I assume she still is. She was born in 1922 in France. So things like Maybelline lipsticks, L'Oreal products and things like that definitely helped her to become worth $40.7 billion. She is definitely one of the principal shareholders in the company, which was founded by her father back in 1907. She's actually also considered a philanthropist. So she definitely does some charity work. When you purchase, there are some things that goes towards the charity company that she, or organizations that she works with. So when you purchase certain items, they are definitely going towards those charities. So that's pretty cool. I definitely like to see when people are wealthy and they have money and they're making money, but at the same time they're giving back. I love to see that. And they're giving back and you never even know that they're giving back. Like, that's just awesome. Like, they're not, constantly putting it on the screen or in people's faces that they're giving back. Like, they're doing it and it's just honestly coming from their heart. So it sounds like that's definitely her story. She actually, though, eventually her health did get to a point where, it started to go down a little bit. She, right now, is not making day-to-day decisions in the company because she has dementia. But of course, she still holds those shares nonetheless. But those day-to-day decisions in the company is being done, or it's being replaced by her grandson. Now while we're actually in the same family group, I actually wanted to talk about Frances Bantaccord, who's actually, again, from the time that I was reading this article, is considered to be one of the wealthiest women on earth, with a net worth of $72 billion. Like, you guys, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I don't know if you guys ever feel that, and I know that this is something that I have to work on for myself. Now, as an entrepreneur, as someone who works, as someone who's working on getting my financial stuff together, I'll be honest with you, even though I try to be positive, I try to think optimistic, I know that eventually, like, my income where it's at now, because I work, I'm an employee at this time. My businesses are not where I want them to be, but they're slightly moving along. But as far as my net worth, most of it comes from the money I make from work. And unfortunately, because it's money I'm getting from work from my employer, it's really capped. Like, unless I move up in the company, I become a CEO, which I'm not trying to say that would never happen, but at this time, that's not what's going on. Right now, my income is capped. So to think that someone could be worth $72 billion, it's just mind-blowing to me. And I know it's possible, but it's just, again, it's mind-blowing. And of course, we strive to do better with our lives. We strive to be financially free and get to these points in life that we never thought that we could actually reach. But I will be honest with you, it's mind-blowing when I hear stuff like this. But yeah, so she's worth $72 billion. She's considered to be one of the richest, wealthiest women on earth, according to this particular article. Now, things could change, because now with social media and like all these little companies that are coming in and out, things could change. But she's also within the same company as Lillian Bantaccord. So Frances Bantaccord is within the same family. I have to double check and find out how she's related to Lillian. Maybe she's maybe she's a niece, maybe she's a granddaughter, maybe she's the daughter. I don't know exactly, but I have to find out how she is related to Lillian. But right now, she's considered one of the wealthiest women on earth. Most of her income, or her net worth, comes from the fact that she or her family owns 33% of the L'Oreal stock. She is chairperson. Yeah, so basically her family owns about 33% of the share stocks in L'Oreal. Her family owns about 33% of the share stocks in L'Oreal. So that definitely. The makeup firm. She is the chairperson of the makeup firm since 1997. So she's definitely doing her thing. And of course, I mean, her family being part of it definitely helps. But still, I love to hear, because she could have ventured out and did something else. I hear stories where you have families who are in a business and some people don't want to be part of the family business. So the fact that she continued on the legacy and is holding it down. 2 thumbs up for that. Next person is Miss Oprah Winfrey. I'm sure that's a name that a lot of you guys are very familiar with. So Oprah was born in Kosciusko, Mississippi, January 29th, 1954. You guys, I forgot that I wanted to go ahead and try this Inglot, what is this thing called? Pigment eyeshadow, and it's called '86. I guess that's the number. So I'm gonna see how I can kind of like tap that on a little bit. Nothing too much. Okay, so Oprah Winfrey, as I mentioned, she is known for hosting her own international television show, Oprah Winfrey, as you guys probably already know. She actually started off her beginning life story was nothing to be too pleasant about. She actually came from a small like farm community, and her life story actually includes her being sexually abused and sexually molested by either family members or some people that was close to the family in that farm community. This article actually mentioned multiple, so I don't know what kind of things they had going over there where multiple people were molesting one child. And this was like her adolescence, so I want to say probably between the ages of 11 and probably 16, 17. This was going on. Now, she actually ended up going to live with her father, or the person that she considered to be her father, in Nashville, Tennessee. He was a barber and also a businessman. So I imagine she probably picked up some important information about, business and entrepreneurship through her father, or through this person that she went to go live with in Nashville, Tennessee. But she eventually actually landed a position or a job in TV and broadcasting, TV and radio broadcasting. And then that's pretty much how she got into the whole thing. Like that is pretty much what started her off to get into the whole broadcasting TV and starting her own show. Now she is also a philanthropist. She has like a lot of charity work that she does, especially she's very popular. She's well known for doing a lot of work overseas to Africa. Also, she actually owns her own network, which is called OWN. It stands for Oprah Winfrey Network, and a lot of very popular or very nice shows you watch off of that network. She was also very instrumental in the 2008 presidential election for Obama, where it says, based on this article, that she was able to wheel in or able to get at least 1 million of the votes, basically through her helping out with that election on that part. Now, Forbes actually, according to Forbes, she was the richest African American in the 20th century and one of the only Black billionaires. If not she is one of the youngest sisters, if not the youngest sister, between her and Kendall Jenner. Now, she has a very large social media following, very influential. Like a lot of people, a lot of young women, a lot of women definitely do a lot of things when it comes to makeup because of Kylie. So for example, in fillers, I'm sure people were getting fillers before her. She's not the first person that got it, that was getting temporary fillers, but when she started, when she told the world that she was getting temporary fillers, well, it's obvious that she was getting fillers, a lot of people started to join the bandwagon, including our melanated sisters, which I don't understand because a lot of us already have full lips, but that's another story. So yeah, so it's very influential. She ended up starting her own cosmetic line, which she actually owned 100%. She had 100% ownership of her cosmetic line. So between her and for lips, I'm gonna be using this lipstick. I don't know why. I think my sister gave it to me, but I'm sure it's probably like a beauty supply store lipstick. It's just called matte lipstick. And it's the color blue purple. And I'm gonna be using Glam Served Rarely Fairy. All right, now most of her network definitely comes from the fact that she has a large following on Instagram. So, she tags. If you want her to do a pop-up, show up, promote, she taxes. So definitely she's getting money in that realm. And then of course, with her cosmetic line, which again she owns 100% ownership of, she was able to, she graced the cover of the Forbes magazine where it was titled some of the richest self-made women. She graced the covers. At that time, she actually was number 27 with a net worth of $900 million. So she was actually on her way to hit that $1 billion mark, but she hadn't. However, the following year in 2019, March of 2019, she became the youngest member of the Billionaire Club and the youngest ever self-made. Now, again, I tell you that when it comes to when it comes to the Kardashians, there is a lot of controversy that comes behind them. So a lot of people argue that she was actually not self-made because her family definitely had a lot to do with, her name and, how she was able to become influential. But that can be argued because even though she, her family did probably give her a boost, compared to someone who probably didn't have that boost, she still, again, like I mentioned earlier, she didn't have to, follow through with her family footsteps. She could have decided to do something else, go to school or whatever, but she decided to kind of stay in the spotlight like as her family does. And with that being said, it definitely helped her to become one of the richest, youngest, self-made billionaires. So I'm pretty much done with the makeup look. I'm gonna go ahead and work on my hair so I can come back with the final look, all right? All right, you guys, so this is the end result of the look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, all right? I didn't do anything too much to my hair. I just kind of like put it in two little ponytails, try to give like a little spunky look. All right, and then this is the look. I feel like it came out pretty nice. You guys tell me what you guys think. This is like a little purple haze look, all right? But if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more videos where I'm like doing makeup and talking about like different stuff, whether it be current events or a topic, let's get to it. If not, I'll just keep doing what I am doing, which is basically staying in different realms, which is Boss Babe University, lifestyle, so vlogs and things like that, and then beauty. So this would kind of fall into beauty anyways. All right, you guys, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully it will not be the next time won't be as long as it took. Y'all know my relationship with being consistent is a tug of war, but we here. Y'all with me. So later.